go through our lives, we become disconnected from our bodies and from our life. And everybody inherently knows this. If you've ever woken up and stubbed your toe on the bed or the dresser, it'll hurt for a moment or two, but then after a minute, it's almost like you don't have a toe anymore. It's almost like your brain has disconnected completely from that part of your body. And it's a beautiful defense mechanism. It's fantastic for that because if something's uncomfortable, it can hinder our ability to survive. So whenever there's any trauma, any stress, that creates certain patterns in our body that allow us to survive. These are fantastic short-term strategies to get out of danger, to move through stressful situations. A couple of the challenges are these systems were built when our biggest dangers were avalanches, saber-toothed tigers, things of that nature. Our body does not know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and sitting in traffic, or a saber-toothed tiger and watching the news, which is why I highly encourage limiting watching the news. There are two things that I know that really are great and powerful to help reconnect us. One is chiropractic. I am sure this does not come as a surprise to any of you. The other is our breath. If you want to increase your adaptability in the world, then the three things you have to take care of are your brain, your body, and your breath. And we're going to use the breath as the primary way we take care of all of them right now. But zooming out for just a second, let's talk about when we experience stress. When we experience stress, anything stressful, whether that is physically, chemically, emotionally, mentally, or usually all of them at once, our breathing will change. And all of you have experienced this. Typically what will happen when we're under stress is our eyes will start darting around the room like crazy. We're looking for danger. We're looking for an exit. In other words, we're looking for what we have to fight or what we have to flee from. Additionally, our heart will start going faster. And what will also happen is our breathing will change. It will get faster and typically more shallow. Now, the great irony of this is when we're in danger is when we need the most oxygen we can get our hands on. But again, the problem is not the immediate stressful situation. It's being stuck in that stress. This stress typically will get anchored into our body. It will get anchored into different tissues, different joints. It will get anchored in through our neuroskeleton. And when that happens, we become stuck in a pattern of stress, which leads to one of two things. Lead to sympathetic overdrive, or in other words, the part of our body that controls survival, that fight or flight response, is running more frequently and at a sub level, a lesser level than would normally be if we were in a car collision, for example, but it's still running more of the time. When that happens, the body will focus more on the eyes, the ears, the nose, the throat, the heart and the lungs, and the big muscle groups. It will focus less. And when I say focus, I mean both neurologically and blood supply to the immune system, the reproductive system, and the digestive system. Because if we're running from a bear, it really does not matter if we can digest the burger we ate last night. So, using our breath, we're going to change the way our nervous system is being activated. When we can harness our breath, when we can do deep, relaxed breathing, it will activate what's called our parasympathetic nervous system. This is the part of the nervous system that allows us to rest, heal, recover, and grow. So when we are able to have deep, relaxed breathing, it helps our digestion, it boosts the immune system, it helps us think clearly and calmly, we get better sleep, and we're able to have a greater level of connection, of joy, and ease. And this is coming from not only my research and my learning on the body, however, snipers, when they're being trained by the Navy SEAL, are trained in breathing techniques. Why? Because they need to be calm so they can make logical, rational decisions when pulling the trigger. So rather than for that purpose, we're going to harness it to enhance our lives, to allow us to have greater levels of calm.